Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Doctor Who in Autism Celebrations, a series to celebrate Doctor Who hitting 60th anniversary this year and autism and neurodiversity. Today, I'm joined with James, and me and James have been
Hello.
following each other for quite a bit, and it's gonna be a really good conversation. So, James, if you wouldn't mind just doing a little brief introduction of yourself.
Okay, well, my name's James. My name's James Mullan. I'm from Ireland, and obviously I like Doctor Who, so I do, and I have I'm I have Asperger's, which is a form of autism, and part of the A ADSD, which is autistic spectrum disorder. And I'm here to talk about my experiences and talk about Doctor Who and how you maybe might relate to people who are on the autistic spectrum disorder.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think autism and Doctor Who can be linked in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways because I find that a lot of people who are autistic love Doctor Who, so
Yeah, no,
it's
no, no,
good.
you can't really get it away from it. I was chatting to a friend at Crohn, really, who I met at uni, and she says, "No, you can't really get away from anyone who is autistic." So it is. And I'm like, yeah. I said to my friend, like, this is like it's kind of like an autism test. So it is. And she says, yeah, it is really.
Yeah, it really is. I ended up
You're kind of like attracted. You're kind of like a sort of like an autism radar, really. You're kind of like attracted to one another that their way. You kind of got a quality or something.
yeah, yeah. It is really good to have an interest that you always talk. You're always going to think about. You always talk about it. It's like Doctor Who is there all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So James, with Doctor Who, when did you start like watching it?
Well, I started watching probably with Christopher Eccleston. Watched it when it first came back out in 2005, and then but I really got into it with David Tennant, obviously because he was the one who actually brought back, even though like Chris Fraglin done a fantastic job at, in season one. But I really got into when David Tennant come back, and then I just kept on watching it all the way through Matt 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 Smith's era, and then Peter Capaldi took over, and my favorite Doctor of all time, Jodie Whittaker, who she kind of grew on me. So she kind of grew on me.
Yeah. Yeah. The Doctor has that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like th th she did have a good time on Doctor Who.
Yeah, she did have a good time. Just like wish maybe no, I'm not going to criticize too much about the writing, but maybe the writing could just be a wee bit better, really, or something. But see, overall, her time on Doctor Who was fantastic. So I'm not going to talk too much about the writing because
Mm.
I could maybe I could maybe be a writer really for Doctor Who, and I'll probably get to see criticisms really. So I'm not going to criticize too much about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's you hear it a lot, don't you? Like which we all know
Mm.
that is one of the reasons. But as well as that, just overall, she was a good doctor. Like she was funny.
She was
Um,
funny, witty, and actually, I must say she's got really good. She actually has a nice pair of eyebrows, so she has really nice eyebrows.
yeah, yeah. Did you like her TARDIS?
Um, not at the beginning, but as I said, it her tires like grew on me so that, and I kind of like I thought just I'm just glad it wasn't pink really since it was a girl doctor. They're going to probably make it all pink, so they are. But I'm glad like it was like yellow really. I remember when I first probably saw it, really, I thought I didn't really like it, but then over the time watching the series, I grew to like it so that and just like the way it was kind of like a crystal really and had the yellow like beams. It was kind of like a blend of David Tennant's TARDIS and a blend of David Tennant's TARDIS, so it was. And they kept to try to put a lot more round things in it. So it's kind of like they're kind of a bit like old and rustic with some modern touches. I kind of like the way the pillars at each side, the yellow pillars at each side. Every time the center like like beam went up and down, the tops of the side ones moved up and down as well. So they did. So that was pretty cool. So it was.
Yeah.
I like the way it gives you a wee custard cream biscuit, really. I think that was her, which I haven't actually had any of those biscuits for yet. I haven't had them yet. And I haven't done any TikToks where I'm eating one of those custard cream biscuits from the show.
Yeah.
But I really like her Sonic Soda.
Yeah.
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 I heard like there was a joke like when like the TARDIS when the design of her Sonic came out really there was a lot of theories online really that it kind of like something or like Chipno was trying to um like like trying to contemplate by by making that design, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure really.
Yeah. Like I have Jodie's Sonic, but it broke.
Oh, do you? It broke.
Yeah, like well, it's not bright. It's just the light is very. It doesn't work anymore.
Well,
Um,
mine's I can't broke so this, so I think mine needs to be. I think I need to put new batteries into mine. So so I do.
yeah, I like. I didn't like her TARDIS wasn't my favorite. Like you say, it grows on you. Um, but
I'm not too fussed about the new TARDIS for the 15th Doctor. Shudi Gatway. I think
yeah,
that's how you pronounce his name. Shudi TARDIS. I'm not. I don't know if I'm fussing that one. Looks a bit too white or something, or too modern, or something. But like I said, it might just grow on me.
yeah, we don't really know what that one's going to look like yet, really, do we? The
Yeah. I'll say one thing though. See when Jodie regenerated into David Tennant, I was hoping they might get a wee shot of him wearing Julie's outfit really because actually that was one thing I picked up. Why did the outfit change when she was generating? The outfit changed too. So it's
mm,
kind of because it's kind of nice to see the next doctor in the previous doctor's outfit.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is quite funny when they do that. Um,
Yeah.
Like I think I think it will that is purely because of the whole 60th whatever's going to happen. Maybe has
Yeah, I think there's a big like arc. I think that I sure know like we must see Davis. It's nice that he's coming back to do the 60th anniversary and the next two seasons of Doctor Who. Hopefully and a few more. That I think there's a whole gonna be a whole arc around why David Tennant came back really.
yeah.
So I don't think it's about boosting
No,
boosting the ratings of the show and getting people back in Doctor Who. I think there must be a whole story arc around it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like but they used to do that Black and Classic Who or the old days where like that isn't the first thing that hasn't been the first time that's happened. Um, like with a doctor changing completely new clothes. But I do like the 40th Doctor suit though. I think it's really nice.
I thought he was just wearing the blue suit that he like wore when like he was the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, yeah. It is very
I thought it was just like very simple.
similar.
I thought it was just that stuff like so really, but I think that they've actually changed it slightly, so they have.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It is. It just leads you to be excited to see where the 60th is going to start. Is it going to
Hmm.
start with the 40th Doctor, or is it going to start somewhere else? Um,
Yeah, I say the one that I wasn't too fussed about is the future doctor. I know she was a woman, and that was the one doctor I just wasn't too fussed on. So I wasn't honestly, I had to admit, I just thought, no, she's not really the doctor. So I just thought, even though she's a very good actor, so she is, and she's, I think I've seen her in Hobie. I think she was in Hobie City, so she was. I just
hmm.
thought, no, that's not the doctor. So it's not this. This didn't gel on her, so I don't.
I guess you can't judge on her because she wasn't really in many scenes. I think she was on maybe like
Yeah, but
three or
maybe
four
maybe
scenes.
if they like said that she was a future incarnation of the Doctor, so she could have been either the 14th or maybe the 20th Doctor somewhere in the future.
Yeah,
But say because she's set before William Hartnell, um, kind of like I don't know, I just wasn't really gelling on that, so I wasn't really.
I think it was very confusing to see because we never probably got I think where she was in the timeline of Doctor. Like it would make more
Yeah,
sense if she was in the like maybe like the 20th incarnation because
yeah,
like if you say it's the future of Doctor, it kind of has the word future in it, so it could
yeah,
be. It could be. I wouldn't
yeah.
mind seeing her back as a Doctor in the future, um, because oh, if she even had
Maybe
their
like
own
she might
little
appear in the
series,
next. Maybe she might appear in the. Maybe she might appear in the 60th anniversary or something. Maybe,
possibly.
but we'll see. See how it goes. I think it would be. I think they missed a chance. It would pity they couldn't get. I'd love to have an episode with Jolie where she meets River Song. Because see, if I was try to write something where 13th Doctor meets River Song. Because I think Julie and Julie and River, or is it Alex? Is it her like name is, or Alexa or something? Alex Keaton. They
Hmm.
could have bounced off each other very well.
Yeah, I do think they could have, but at the same time, I kind of think where River Song story was left with the 12th Doctor is kind of
Yeah, I think.
that it's finished. Like they could bring her back, but what are they going to do? Like
Mm,
it may have to be set in her past before the library, perhaps.
yeah,
If
before I was somewhere. Well, like it could always happen. So it could always happen. So
yeah,
you never know.
you
Could
never
be
know.
because there's endless possibilities because Doctor Who is like very vast. So it is and so endless. So they probably could do something like that there because time isn't. You can't keep time in a you can't keep it again straight in your own head. It's full of, as like to quote David Tennant, it's like bibbly bibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. So it is.
Mm,
I think I got away from me there so a bit. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think like there's so many characters that you could say that you want to see back. Like I do think we will see loads of people back for the 60th compared to the 50th.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, and there's Bonnie, your girl who played the woman, the actress who played Mel. She's back in it,
mm,
which I recently saw on Doctor Who posted. She's going back, and she's not just coming back as a guest appearance or for one episode. I think she's going to be a main character in the plot of the next series.
yeah,
And I'm interested to see what David Tennant, what no, what sorry, not David Tennant, Russell T Davis has in store for the Doctor and Donna. I think they're going to try and maybe solve that there, where Donna might get her memories back. Because I always thought that was a wee bit of a
mm,
cheapskate where she lost all her memories at the end of season 4. I think there's lots of criticism online about that. So hopefully that will maybe solve that one. Because I have heard that
mm,
Donna had a wee girl and she named her daughter Rose.
yes.
So maybe there's like something there. I realize, but there's something there. I realize, so there is.
Yeah. Uh,
Also, I want to tell you something else. Guess who's coming to Northern Ireland Comic Con in September, which I was actually, which I am going to go to now, which I wasn't planning on it. John Barryman is coming. You know the guy who plays Captain Jack Harkness.
yes.
He is coming to Northern Ireland, so I'm definitely going to wear my 13th Doctor outfit and get a get a picture taken with him. I think he's like I think I saw now he's charging £40 for a picture. So I might just get the picture because I might not get an autograph thing. The picture would be better, but
Yeah.
£40 might be worthwhile getting a picture.
I always say a picture is better than an autograph,
Mm-hmm.
because it's more memorable, I guess. But
Yeah,
because like the going to these kind of conventions are expensive, aren't they? But it is
very,
good.
very, very, very,
Yeah.
very expensive because there's other guests going to Northern Comic Con that they like put up on their website. There's like two of the actors from Guardians of the Galaxy, uh, James Gunn's 5, and there's 5 like actors from Lord of the Rings going, and which is Elrond of Riverdale. I think his name's Brendan Hill, and his like niece in Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
here his niece, and also Samwise Gamgee E and Elijah Wood are coming to our Comic Con. But I heard that Elijah Wood is charging £90 for £90 for a picture of him. Really, I'm like 90 icon pounds. I
It's
think that
crazy, isn't it?
maybe I could stretch it to 40. I could stretch it to 40, but not 90. I might just try and get a wee
Yeah.
picture of him walking past me or something.
Yeah. It's not good. Like when that they get paid a lot of money when you're in these films, aren't they? That you get paid loads, and then
Mm-hmm.
going to a
Yeah.
convention is. I don't think they should charge as much. Like
Well, like
but
I understand why they charge it because that's their fees and that's they're coming all the way over from America from any
yeah,
part of the world.
yeah.
So
I guess
I
that way. Yeah.
understand why, but like it's just like if you want to spend £90, you can, but you don't have to really.
Yeah, I think I think if you look at it this way, you'll get if you charge because loads of people will see you. Like if you charge maybe like 50, 60, that you'll be getting your money's worth of the amount of people see you anyway.
Mhm.
So yeah, but if you do want to see people that like maybe you're not gonna if maybe so some actors that you see are like maybe one in a lifetime opportunity perhaps that you might not do that again. So you might want to do that, but yeah, it's all good fun though. Yeah,
Yep, it is good fun, and I wrote a blog on QCon that I went to like a few weeks ago with my friend Thursday. And I said it's very good. It's like it's kind of like because I'm from Northern Ireland, and see from Northern Ireland, it's always different. Back you kind of know what background people are really, if they're Catholic or they're Protestant, really. And Comic Con is kind of like the one event where you're not too sure really. It's a fun day out for the whole family. So that's probably one of the good things about Comic Con.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It is a good time because you can see people. The thing I like about it is like when I've gone like people maybe like that they know you from like TikTok or Instagram and
Yeah, one
they
actually
spot
was
you.
at when I was at Cuba, one girl actually came up to me and says to me, "Oh, I follow you on TikTok," and I was dressed up as the 13th Doctor, and she says, "I love you so much. I love your TikTok. I follow you. I follow you. I think you're fantastic." So it was kind of like a wee bit like it was kind of a wee bit like I was a wee bit I was a wee bit starstruck to be honest when like she and this girl just approached me really and says, "I think you're fantastic. I love you." So they kind of this year must be like for like a famous. This must be like when Jodie goes to these conventions really, and there's loads of fans really.
Hmm.
go following her and trying to get her picture really.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
kind of it's kind of a wee bit surreal because I would see when I started doing TikToks and just doing performances of different things from Doctor Who, I wasn't really thinking. I wasn't actually. Um, I was just trying to show off my acting techniques. So I wasn't doing it for anything else really. So obviously, I've done something right. So I have on TikTok.
yeah. It is nice. Like like it. If I know there's certain people going today, I'll try and meet up with them. Um, and see.
I probably should have maybe stayed up doing my ICT course really because at the time I actually failed a few of the modules. So I probably should have kept on my ICT and tried to learn more and more Python really. That's the coding. So this try and get my head around Python really and try to work on my ICT instead of doing TikToks because it just happened just when the whole world was in lockdown. So but it is, but like I didn't know at the day time really. If I had known that lockdown was going to have a like maybe given the ICT
Mhm.
uh the ICT uh a bit like more time.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It is good fun. Like going going in places to cosplay, and that's what I do sometimes. Like we said before about I'll go Doctor Who locations. I'll go in the
Mhm.
actual clothes, and then people will approach me saying, "Are you filming for Doctor Who?" Like the actual show. And I think I'm actually filming for Doctor Who, and I was like,
Maybe to think you're like one of the Give a Town stunt doubles.
maybe, yeah,
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 it's like better his better looking self. So he is.
yeah, yeah. It is good. Like but at the same time, if you're midway doing a video, you have to restart it because you're interrupted.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. I understand what actors are like. Really, see when you're doing a shot, really, and see if someone walks in while you're doing that shot, you have to redo it all over again. So it is. So, and I understand just say when you're on set, someone say they have to be in the right zone, really, when they're about to go on and do a scene, and see if they're not in the right frame of mind, really, they don't do it. So I understand because acting is hard and does take a lot out of you. And this is just from me doing the TikToks. So it is. Mm. So I actually got I got more respect for people who perform in front of the camera, plus also behind the camera, really. Because see, if I'm making videos for YouTube, and even my friend, he's showing me my one of my cousins sent me this year to think of this year. Jeff Valley goes around the world really and makes films really. It takes about 3 hours to make one particular film. I would say, yeah, that is about right. So there's depending on what type of film you're making. Sometimes it might take longer than that. But like but that's here for but for the sorry, my thumb is in the way there, sorry. Yeah. So it is an art form, so it is acting, so it is
Yeah,
and you want to get your performance just right. You don't want to be coming across as if you're like I'm going to say the word weird, right? But in a good sense, right? You don't want to come across like
yeah.
oh, here's a weirdo coming here to stay away from him.
That that's it. And if you're going to different locations or different places, you don't want to have a half dozen tries on one because
Yeah, but I do think if you're going out to, it's say I went to the Comic Con, really, it's best to go with someone. And lucky enough, my friend asked me to. She was actually pestering me for maybe a couple of months, really, saying, are you going to QCon? Are you going to QCon?" So eventually, I said to go to it. I booked off the Saturday, and my work gave me the Sunday off as well. So that it. So I got 2 days off, 2 days off for the like for Q Con at Queen's University. So it was a good thing I went with my friend because at the end of the first day, everybody went home. She was on her own, so I actually stayed overnight in like in the room that she was staying in at up at Queen's Halls. So it's actually good, just so like it's better going in twos or threes, really going as a group, going with a group of people. So that means you're not in case someone out there takes advantage of you. So
yeah,
it is good. and that doesn't mean they go on the Comic Cons. You can do spirit being groups for any kind of thing.
Yeah, like it can just be anything
Like
you go.
like Julie said, yeah, as Julie Baker says, like a fam really. One time I
Yeah,
did do a TikTok with a few of my friends at college. Really said this is my fam, my TARDIS fam.
yeah, yeah. It is good, like because like you can do like a Doctor Who themed or even a Doctor Who themed one, in a random place, that may Doctor Who not may not be set in. This one might be nice
Probably not
scenery.
happen. Yeah, I probably haven't got the confidence. Well, I did do one time in my local area. It's in the National Trust. I was dressed up as Doctor Who, and I just recorded these things, maybe of me walking across the camera or towards the camera, doing me things that the Doctor would do. But that was in a National Trust property, so there wasn't a lot of people around. But I don't know if I've got the confidence to maybe walk down Belfast, not not on my own, not unless I'm going to an actual con with a friend, really. Because if you're walking down streets in Belfast dressed up, really, they might think you're on someone. I'm just expecting a van to come along and two men in white coats to come along and to pick you up and take you away.
Yeah, it
Mm.
is. There are some places that you shouldn't maybe wear it just because of like
Mm. And probably
people.
like in Belfast is probably one of them. Belfast is probably one of those, because we're quite there's so many backgrounds here in Belfast, really, and in Northern Ireland. So you probably maybe shouldn't be wearing it out, not
Yeah,
unless you're going to a con.
yeah, yeah.
It's probably different for you because you're in England. Really, probably more diversity over in England. Really, feel more respective.
Yeah, it all depends where you are. Like if you go to like maybe a more public place, it may be like if you go to somewhere like a garden centre, it may be a bit easier because there's just a load of people there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, rather than just odd like you're just walking down the street and someone sees you. Um, but yeah, I always like. I used to worry about what people thought, like of me when I started doing the videos, like TikTok
Mm-hmm.
videos. And then now you just don't worry about it because you're always gonna get hate that people hate on you.
Yeah, you're always going
Uh,
to get there. It's even, but just be careful. You just have to be sensible of what you're like doing. And as my dad says to me sometimes, it just it's not like real. So don't be taking it's like it's not like real. So it's like not. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, because yeah, like people make like comments like you're not wearing
Mm-hmm.
identical clothes to the actual doctor. Like, but I think it's just silly. Like, it can affect you. But all you have to do is press block and but,
Yeah,
then
and then
no,
you don't see that person, so you like
no,
don't.
no. Yeah, I probably have loads of people on my blocked list. Purely because of
Yeah,
that. Um,
I
I
blocked a few people as well, so I have, but like you get those people anywhere you go, really.
Yeah. You find those kind of people or have no followers or no posts who do that kind of stuff and sometimes you think it might be a bot and stuff like that but once you can deal I guess with that and move away and just do stuff that makes you happy like if you like to cosplay the 13th
Yeah,
Doctor.
yeah. Of course, like do things that make you happy and what you like to see, and try and do your own version of that, of the show. Do your own version, because like it is like, and see when you're at college, or do you like something that you're interested in, and what your talent, where your talents lie. Because I just made a mistake doing ICT, thinking after doing my maths GCSE that after learning how you do algebra that I might be able to do coding, which I did was thought I was good at, really. But see, from going to when I started my course at uni, I thought after a while, no, this isn't for me. This after the first term, I stuck it out till Christmas. So that, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeah,
Do you know what
it,
here? Tell you what, do you know what I'd really like to see, like in Doctor Who? Because I'm big in history, so I am.
mm,
And I would very, very, be a good episode if they do more about. I can see them do an episode where the Doctor meets Frederick the Frederick the Great, more like in Kings and Queens across Europe, because
mm,
Frederick was a king in was the king of Prussia in the 18th century. And I think doing like a talk, doing a not podcast, doing an episode of where the Doctor lands in Brandenburg and he meets Frederick the Great would be a very interesting topic to I can do. And
yeah,
also it could get and also the could wait because like in online Frederick the Great was there's all rumors online that Frederick the Great was gay. So also it might be a good episode to do to
yeah,
like do one based on him really based on his life. I might get the kids to know about like because I'm big believer like I like German history so do but not from the First and Second World Wars. There's more to Germany than just those two main events. So it'd be good to do an episode where the Doctor's not based around England and
yeah,
he's seeing other like kings and queens across Europe. Really, very important figures. There was a time where I was thinking you could do one about Anne Frank, but a bit like the Rosa Parks episode, there may not be as much you could do with that episode really. So maybe Anne Frank would be a bad choice to do really, because it might and doctor might come to the fact where the doctor might have to. It's like a fixed point in time, and we can't change it. So it may not be too much you can do with Frank, but
yeah.
it's just an idea.
I think that I love that the history episodes are the best in Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
I find like the Rosa Parks episode probably one of the best episodes probably Jodie did.
I think the Rosa Parks episode was a good episode. So it was like it raised the
Yeah,
light about a quality and what Rosa Parks and what Rosa Parks stood for. So
mm,
it did, and I think that was just before the Black Lives Matter. So that was so. I think it like it just painted the picture. So that, but it's actually good. Like
yeah,
with the fixed point of time, and they had to. The doctor couldn't do very much. Really, they had to sit because everybody had to be loads of seats
mm,
all the bus had to be full really, and they had to take their seats really. So Rhodes Parks was the one who had to stay, like stand up and say no, I'm not, or to sit down and say no, I'm not going to give up my seat for a
yeah,
white person.
yeah. I like the episode because they're highlighting like racism and everything like that. But I just don't think they needed a monster in the episode.
Was there a monster in the episode? Was there?
I
I
I
can't
I
remember.
I,
I've only seen
I,
it once or twice.
I can't remember what it was, but I think there was a certain monster in that episode. I can't remember really what it was, but I think there was a monster there was something else going on in that episode other than the racism. But that series, series 11, I think it was. Um,
Yes, it was in season 11. I think it was episode 3 or 4.
yeah, I think it was series 11. Um, my favorite, I did like the series 4. No, no, series 12. I did like that series. I like the start of it, like the two Spyfall episodes where the Master got
Mm-hmm.
introduced. I did like them.
Yeah, I thought the Master. I think the Master was a good choice, really. And actually, he was in an, another historical series called the called based on Catherine the Great. It's called the Great, and you can watch it on. I think it's on now, so it is, and you can buy or rent it on YouTube. And he played one of the like, ministers
Yeah,
in that like show, and he was fantastic in it. But he was a fantastic choice for like so the master really.
yeah,
Actually,
very good.
see I saw him in Power of the Doctor, and the master was um he was making out the master was Rasputin. You could actually do an episode. You could actually I think if there are everything about doing a series around the Romanovs, again, you can maybe cast him as Rasputin. I was
Yeah,
thinking he was
yeah,
very good. And he stood that he stood the big beard, the big Russian beard, and the long hair. So he again did.
yeah. It's very good.
He's very talented actor. So he is. I said something about the master, Jolie's master. You ever see the Venture in Time and Space? So and he was in that episode. So
He was, yeah,
he
yeah,
was in that episode. I'm thinking you just had to get see the actress that played the first female producer, Verity Lambert. You just need to get her into the series.
yeah,
You can
yeah,
say in some way, shape, or form. Maybe as another female doctor. Maybe.
yeah. I think we'll see more female doctors. I don't think it'll be just because they've gone back to a male, but I think that's
Hello.
I think the awareness was to change it to a female, purely because there haven't been a female in all the Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was fighting for that right, and then I think now they're fighting for like the first like not a
African
what no,
doctor.
yeah like
Yeah,
a
yeah. Had it very careful. I think it's colored,
not
or
a
is it?
white not a white male, because we've always had a white male since then. So and first gay, and like doctor
Is
as
he gay?
well.
Is the next doctor gay? Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
I had a feeling that he might be gay, but even though that doesn't bother me really, that doesn't bother me.
no, no, I think it's good. I think it's different. It's all about difference. Doctor Who, it always changes all the time. Um, and
Yeah, no.
and probably I imagine a lot of people who love 13th Doctor. Um, I know whatever Doctor it is, and people are not going to be. There's going to be moaners out there, aren't there?
I
um,
know, I know, I know.
yeah. But I think it's not like there's not going to be another. I think there will be more female doctors out there.
hmm I was just thinking, oh, Olivia Coleman could be a good female doctor. That's the woman she was in. She's been in lots of others.
Who?
She was in Peep. Oh, Olivia Coleman.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think she'd be a good doctor.
She would,
Hmm
yeah, yeah. I think she would be a good doctor. Lydia West would be a good doctor as well.
Who's
Um,
she again? Who's she?
um, she played in uh, like a recent drama. Like she played in I think she was in It's a Sin, and she was
Hmm
also in a series that Stephen Moffat wrote, well,
hmm
with David Tennant was in it. And she played, I think, like a youth worker or something. But she's a very good actor. Um, she I would love to see her as a female doctor in the future. Um, but yeah, I think they're moving into the right direction now, Doctor Who, with like raising awareness for certain differences.
hmm
Open up path to people who have maybe disabilities as well. Like
Yeah, yeah. Because Doctor Who's so broad, really. It's probably one of the one shows that everyone gets like a say. So it is right, and raises awareness. I think in one of the episodes, one of the seasons, Russell T Davis wants to raise awareness on climate change
hmm,
and global warming, and they have touched on this here in the Patrick in the 12th Doctor run of Doctor Who. No, like is it when the whole like world, London and the whole world, is covered in trees and forests, and that
hmm,
was raising awareness of climate change and global warming. And say when the solar flares came, all because there's so much trees, all the carbon dioxide formed a shield around the earth. So I think Russell Davis wants to do 3 episodes on climate change. So he does. I heard,
yeah,
which I think
I,
will be a good one.
yeah, I think it's good when they raise awareness for like if it's climate change, if it's something else that's happening in the world. I think it's good when they do this. Like I liked the episode when they did what was it, Hungry Earth with Matt Smith, like when in series 5, it
Five, yep.
was the Silurians, because at the start they arrived in, I think, like 2020,
Hmm.
and back then it was 2010. So it was quite funny when we actually got to 2020 a couple of years ago, and like it was
Oh, I
actually,
actually, I like think I'm missing. Like, I actually forgot about that there. So that
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, I actually completely forgot about that there. I was watching an episode of Friends with my sister and her boyfriend, and like one of those was where they're celebrating, when Rachel has her baby and it's on his first birthday, and they're doing a wee video message for her to open when she's 18, and just shows you how dated it is, really, because they said she'll be 18 when she's 20 in 2020. I think it went out in 2003. And I said, "Oh, that's not a good year, so it's not." She'll probably see and see if she sees that. See if she sees those videos when she was back in 2003. She'll probably be very depressed because
yeah.
no one was allowed to go outside.
That's it. That's it. It's good when these episodes. Well, I like when episodes are set in like the future or the past. I like when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's like really cool. Like in New York. Um, and there's
New
but
York, yeah. I've actually been to New York, so I have. So it's nothing like New York, so it's not. It's very good. So this. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. It is good. Like when they have episodes set like in places that they're not. It is really
Mhm.
clever. It's really clever how they do things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. So what else? Just trying to think. Like what else is coming? Oh, I think I'm nearly running out. Just trying to think. Is there anything I need to talk about really? Yeah. I like. Well, back to like. See when you saw that. Back to like. As I mentioned, I'm like beginning to come start to say more about the fact that I have autism. So it is because I was very just cautious. Really, it wasn't. Didn't like saying it out loud. So I again, I didn't. It's only from going to university, and at the moment I've been seeing this girl for over 3 years now, and she was the first one I actually said to her that because I said to her like I've got autism, is that okay? Really, I said she said it was Asperger's, but it's a mild form of autism, and she said to me, she said, "Hey James, don't be like worrying, don't be worrying. Hold on, don't be like don't be worrying, don't be worrying about that there
yeah,
because she when she saw me, she didn't think I had anything wrong with me, and it can give me a wee bit of confidence, a wee bit of reassurance.
yeah.
So, and
Like
from meeting another friend who I met at QCon who was up at Ulster University with me, she mentioned she had autism, and she was very like me, really very like you wouldn't normally think really, because some people with autism you kind of can pick out quite easily if they have something really like eye contact or maybe they're fidgeting or doing something, things like that there.
yes,
So it is quite clear to see sometimes, but sometimes it's because I'll see for most of my life really I've always been trying to mask it, just trying to appear normal and having good eye contact and just listening to people's conversation and coming in at the right times really, and not being trying to feel as nervous.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
haven't been. I have been.
yeah. Like with I've mastered it as well. Like when I was growing up at school, I would always mask and pretend I needed help. No, not pretend that everything was okay when it weren't. Um, but
So
yeah. So
because I'm.
I would pretend that I didn't want help, but when I did, because I didn't want teachers to think that I couldn't do it. Um, but like with autism, you see, like with like the different terms, like Asperger's, for example, that is very like outdated, so
Yeah,
no one really uses it anymore purely
yeah,
because
you kind of say ASID, so you do, or just call it autism. But I
yeah,
find it's better to
yeah,
say. Asperger's, so it is, because it's very that, and I have done a few YouTube videos where I talk about it, and I said that it's you gotta think as and on the spectrum you think of it like a 3D object, like a sphere with like autism with like severe autism in the center and Asperger's on the outskirts, going towards the outside of the sphere. And there's all these here different layers really, and anyone at some point at somewhere is on these is in these is falls somewhere on the lines going towards the center. And so I've been told I have a high functioning release, which is Asperger's. So I'm probably more towards the outskirts, maybe some areas going in towards the center. So and another good example of it is like you've got to think of it like an onion as well. Have you ever seen that? If you ever watched Shrek 1, where Shrek talks to Donkey, trying to explain what like to explain to Donkey that ogres have layers. So and that's the same way as autism. You gotta think of it like an onion. Like people of autism have layers. Autism has layers, so onions have layers. So
Mm.
that's how you've got to think about it, really. So many different versions of it.
Because
Mm-hmm.
with with it, like with the term like high functioning, low functioning, like to like because I'm really involved with like the autism community, like like like
Mm-hmm.
like doing series like this and talking about autism, like high functioning, low functioning, it can come across like I personally I don't like those kind of terms like high and low purely because like so say if you're high like you like it's almost like maybe someone maybe need more help than others when everyone needs their
Mm-hmm.
own level of support and it's about being different and not one person needing maybe more than
Yeah,
another, so I don't really
it's
like
just
those terms.
it's just like more about it's like the same with
Maybe support needs I'd say.
everywhere. It's like it's the same with everyone. Really, you have to you have to respect every everyone's own needs and their own
Hmm.
and respect everyone's own privacy. So you do. I think that's but as long as you keep it, you have to respect everyone. Really, just treat them as if they're normal. Well, like they are normal, but treat them as if they're just
Yeah, definitely.
like anyone else.
Yeah, and just a couple of facts about like Asperger's because like in the community, like a lot of people like I've only just learnt this year actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with the term Asperger's and like it being outdated, and I know people who have like came across it, like they've always known. I said, oh, I've got Asperger's, and where it like kind of
Mm-hmm.
it originates
You
from.
like actually, do you have
Um,
Asperger's? Yeah.
no, I don't say I've got Asperger's. I just say I'm autistic. But where
Mm.
it's from a person called Hans Asperger's, who's like a
Yeah.
Nazi,
No, I agree.
who was like a Nazi. So it kind of like a lot of us like stay away from that just because of that. And
Yeah, I think we need to do a bit more research because I was trying to do a bit more research on him, and I like to know because like I'm like other fields like see Germany. You can't actually think not every German is an athlete, not everyone outside. Kind of thinking I don't know too much about Hans Asperger, so I don't, and I think we need to maybe do a wee bit more
yeah,
digging. Like, was he? I don't because like see in Germany at the like time you could have been like maybe just fell into that there sort
yeah.
of grip
Like
really, and even
I can
like
tell you a
even though you
little.
just fell into the grip really, and so and see if you done anything wrong, you would probably
Yeah,
be shot shot or sent off to one of the
like
concentration camps, and so would you and your family. So it was a very
yeah,
hard time in Germany at that time really, and I would try and have a little more res, res, respect for that there because not every German is a Nazi, so it's not that every and we shouldn't be every time you see someone from like who's from Germany or grip, he's an athlete. No, he's not like that
yeah.
there.
But
They're not like that there. And
if you
and it's the same with the Pope really. Sorry to interrupt you. It's a bit like the when Pope Benedict XVI, he died this year, so we did, and like when they see when like I keep hearing I keep hearing things online that oh he's German, he didn't have to really just, and I'm like, we need to get away from that so we do about Germany, and we need to like, even though because every country, everyone's got a dark history or something that they're not proud by, and we need to get away from another. Sorry, because I do like, me and my dad went to Berlin, and I really have got your interest about Germany, their fascination by Germany, so they and European
Yeah,
history. So
yeah. Like I think it's maybe best like to for you maybe to look into it maybe a bit more because it is like I've researched it of course like myself and like you go on it and and it is about people who have autism and getting like
yeah, I think I think
thingied
he
on.
maybe saved. I think he maybe, because like he was experimenting once, he probably that could be why how he maybe saved a few of them, because they maybe saved them a child from being gas maybe. So we need to maybe do a bit more research on that there, because I'm actually thinking that there'd be a good documentary to do or a good TV series to do about, really trying to explore, was he, well, is it again, is it true what people are saying about him, or is it, or was he like Oscar Schindler, who like secretly was in an Nazi party, but he used his position there to like save thousands of
Yeah,
Jews. So he did. So
yeah, there will
so I'm just
be.
like need to do a wee more research on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but yeah, I think so because yeah, because I always advise, of course, everyone has their own personal opinion, but it's also all about raising awareness. I always advise people just to read about it, and if you do identify as yourself as Asperger's, where really, I prefer personally myself, like we all have our personal opinions, like, I prefer just to be identified as like autistic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like people out there will. I always respect people who want to research it. So some people don't want to because where like you mentioned Nazis and you mentioned all that, and they want to just stay away from that. But I always advise people to do it just so they know, and maybe just have a little think. Do you continue want to be saying that you're Asperger's, or do you want to say you're autistic? Because it can get really confusing. I think if you
Yeah,
say you're
well, it's not too
Asperger's and
confusing, so it's not.
autistic, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe have a bit more research. And I think you're right. Maybe a documentary would be a good way forward at some point. Is that will raise awareness as well. I think and help people to maybe say that that they would like to be autistic, uh, or like however they want to identify. I think, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, I just thought to mention that it did just in case you didn't know any of that.
Yeah, don't worry. I did like know other, so that I didn't know other. I didn't
Yeah,
know it.
yeah, but yeah, but so James, do you have like a favorite? Um, do
I think
do
my friend just went there.
do you have a favorite quote or one you like or a line maybe in Doctor Who?
A favorite line from Doctor Who. Let's see, maybe. Oh, probably. Oh, Alonzi, David Tennant,
Yeah,
Alonzi, Alonzi, or I like it there like when Julie. I like Julie's opening line. Oh, oh, brilliant! Oh, brilliant! I think that's the closest I can get to her,
yeah,
so I can. Or
yeah,
her first line when she came in, when she crashes down through the like train carriage in the first episode, the woman who fell to earth, and she goes, "Oh, pockets! I hate empty pockets." Mm-hmm.
yeah. It kind of links in with previous doctors saying about the pockets really as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
pockets! I hate empty
I like
pockets.
I like that bit. And do you have like any advice about autism or anything?
Probably just like I can say about just be, just maybe be yourself really, and be able to just just be really. But I think the good one of the good things is anyone with autism on spectrum is that even if you're out of it, I think education is so important. And see if you can have a good time in education and you came out of school with no GCSEs and A levels, I would suggest go back really and do your education really, because like through education you might gain more confidence. Because only through when I started doing my GCSEs and my A levels, and then going off to uni and meeting up this girl I'm seeing, it gave me a wee bit more confidence with it. And I think education is so important. But in reality, you see in the world is people like to think the world's so black and white. The world's not black and white. It's very multicultural, really, and it's multicolored. So like, and the people who and people maybe on the spectrum would be like kind of like they see the world differently, and the world like see companies and teach some teachers really and some schools that need to have more patience when it comes to dealing with
Yeah,
autism, because people on with people on this with people on the spectrum and have
yeah,
patience with one another, because not everyone's the same, and they need to maybe put them into the right class really so that they can push themselves really. Because I think if I was always put into the lowest class, because I had Asperger and I got an education statement, and I just my one of my English teachers said to me, "You should have been put into mainstream." So I should have been, and I just feel like the world needs to be educated, and I think it's this lack of understanding really. They just
definitely.
see they just see a disability and they just put you into the lowest class. So they and I just wish I could, if I got maybe my GCSEs when I was in high school, probably would have got them all, probably would have gotten my maths GCSE, I probably would have still had to go back to college really and spent 3 years doing that one. So I did, because maths has never been my forte. But I just think we need to like just education is so important. So it is. And if I say to anyone who has essential skills in English and maths here on the spectrum, I would just advise them go back and do, if you got some money, save up some money and go back and do the proper GCSEs. So that's because the essential skills are no good really. Save for applying for jobs, you need to have the proper GCSEs really, because no employer wants them.
Yeah,
So
I,
my advice to you about it is just try and be yourself and just enjoy life really, and not be worrying about what people think of you.
yeah,
And if you can, go back to education.
yeah, I completely agree. Thanks, James. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's really good. To anyone who watched this episode, listen to this episode, we hope you enjoy it. And Doctor Who and Awesome celebrations. It's been really a good time to James about Doctor Who, a convention, everything Doctor Who. Let's just say, and autism as well, because they both link in
Mm-hmm.
really well.
Yeah, they do.
um,
They do. Very good.
yeah,
Very.
yeah. Thanks, James.
Yeah, thank you very much. Marcus, is it? Marcus, is it? What's your
Mason.
name again? Mason, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not very good with names, really.
yeah,
Mason, okay.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Mason. Thank you for
Thanks,
inviting
James.
me to be on
Thanks.
this podcast and talking about Doctor Who and autism.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.